Shahd Abusalama, who was put under investigation by the Sheffield Hallam University last week. We've had her on, and then was told that, has just been told that the investigation is being dropped, which is fantastic news. So we wanted to revisit that case and find out what exactly happened, and if perhaps that is a sign of other good news to come. Hello, Shahd, congratulations.
Hi, Tina.
When you were first taken off, and you were, just sent an email that didn't really give you any details, have you since been told what the investigation was even about?
Well, we're not stupid. We can match the allegations, the list of allegations that the university had sent me with the press inquiries that I received from Jewish News, Campaign Against Anti-Semitism, and the Jewish Chronicle. And yes, it's clear who they are, and they are external bodies. But I guess we are meeting today. I met you only last week, and I was still in the middle of it. Here we are a week later, victorious. Okay. And this is a reminder of the power of collective action and how it can turn the tide. And without this campaign, without this support, I don't think we would have achieved this. And this is, I think, a learning lesson that we should take for our future campaigns, and also for anybody who would fall victim to this smear campaign and the political tool of the IHRA.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I understand you actually got offered a better job now as well.
Yes. Well, I found myself really in a net of bureaucratic and political injustices. And it turns out that my original contract was wrong, basically, and it was a reason why I ended up being treated by my university as if I don't exist and have no rights. But it is now corrected, and yeah, I'm offered a better contract, a more secure contract.
Brilliant.
That gives me more protection. And the university has already told me that now they have my story, they have my knowledge, and that they will give me their full support, and they will see the future complaints, which they're still receiving apparently. They will see it in light of this context and knowledge.
Well done. Well, this is, I'm going to bring in Peter Jones, because this is all, of course, about the IHRA so-called definition of anti-Semitism, which lots of people have pointed out, it's neither a definition nor does it deal with anti-Semitism. It's about criticism of Israel. So this, I presume Sheffield Hallam University is not one of the universities that has stood up to the IHRA. Is it actually part of the university code of conduct, or wherever they put it, Peter?
Yes, thank you, and good morning all. Yes, the university did adopt the IHRA. As I explained last time, in what was, for me, a travesty of a process, a very flawed process indeed. And that, of course, now is coming home to roost as well. So this is a very important signal victory, and we've yet to digest all the implications of this. Certainly not for our own institution, but for the fight for the Palestinian cause generally. And it's to the university's credit, I have to say, as an employee of the university, that they made this decision for Shahd, and that is something which we can learn from, and I think we can use in a campaign to roll back the use and the adoption of the IHRA throughout the UK, and that's something that we will indeed be talking about. At our own institution, we hope now to start a productive, constructive dialogue with the university over the process by which it was adopted, as well as its application, because in practice, as we can see from Shahad's case, this is actually used as a tool of anti-Palestinian racism. It's as simple as that. It's not, of course, it comes within the broad context of academic freedom and freedom of speech. But what it means is when Palestinians speak the truth of their own oppression by the Israeli state, they alone are subject to investigations and potential sanctions out of the blue just for telling the truth about what Israel is doing to them and has done to them, and like no other people. So this is the issue, that the IHRA is not simply a general threat to academic freedom and freedom of speech, but it's an instrument of anti-Palestinian racism, pure and simple. So that's what we'll be working with. Anyway, thank you for that.
I wanted to pick up on Peter's point, because it's very, very important. And I think the fact that I'm not sure if there was another Palestinian who was in my position before, but I think the fact that the story revolved around Palestinian who's a stateless and refugee war survivor that broke free of the world's largest open-air prison, only to be chased by Israel's lobby groups beyond the occupied territories. And it's just outrageous and unacceptable. And for them to play the victim after all this, and to basically go after me for saying things that are basically reflective of the Palestinian experience under Israel's settler, colonial, and apartheid systems. I mean, when they do that, they literally enforce what they don't want us to state, which is Israel is a racist endeavor.
And it's certainly a lot of racist laws, etc. Peter, you are actually Shahd's supervisor. I forgot to mention that. And you are also a member of the UCU branch that defended her and put out a motion that calls for a moratorium on the IHRA misdefinition of anti-Semitism. How likely are you going to have that accepted? And do you think this case could be used as for a campaign in other universities, that we put an end to the imposition of this misdefinition? Because, comrades, remember, there's actually a threat of defunding for universities if they do not accept this fake definition.
Yes, I mean, there was. I mean, God knows what's happened to that threat now. But yes, I think you're right. I think, first of all, we've asked within the institution for there to be a moratorium on any use of this, because it was adopted by the university and the Board of Governors. But it's clearly must be very evident to them that the problems that they have whipped up and encountered, and the resistance that they've encountered as a result of that. And so I hope they'll be amenable to some discussion on that. But of course, the wider campaign must also kick in, and that's right. This must be a wider issue. The use of the IHRA as an instrument of direct discrimination against Palestinians, that's really an extra dimension, or indeed the fundamental dimension, probably, to the whole issue, which I think we can use as part of a campaign now to roll back these decisions to adopt and to use and so on.
Yes, let's hope for the best and make a start with that. Thank you both for coming on. Fantastic news. We don't get good news often, so it's great to have you on board.
Stay strong, and let's not let the Zionists demoralize us. I know the Palestine movement has been, facing a lot of challenges, and this is a reason to feel hopeful and to be prouder than ever for being on the side of the Palestinians. And I really hope that I would welcome you all, guys, in my home in Free Palestine. And keep up the great work. Bye.
Great. Thank you very much, comrade.
Thank you very much.
Bye, Shahd.